Hello everyone on YouTube, TheMainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and me, I'm doing great, having a very pleasant stream, and I'm going to do what is known as a live recording and presentation, because I'm a pro, yeah. So, Allbase has graced us with his presence yet again, and some data, some hard data on Tekken 7 Season 4, and pretty much, you know, the end life of Tekken 7. I don't think we're getting any more updates, so he has given us data on who are the most played characters, and as you can see, we can even see how it's changed since Season 3. The placings, even though it's remained mostly the same. Armor King makes a huge comeback, as you can see. He goes up 2 placements. He used to be at number 6 a while ago, and now he's back to number 4. I mean, yeah. Again, I gotta stress, like, the best visual redesign of any legacy character. It has to be said yet again. What a great job they did with him. And I'm sure JDCR drives some of his popularity as well. If not a decent chunk of it. But so anyway, we're gonna look at some other data as well. But let's just start with this. So again, it comes as no surprise to anyone out there that Paul is still the most popular character. It's been like this, if not since Tekken 1, it's basically like Tekken 2, Tekken 3. Endlessly popular character. And the same can be said for Kazuya, who comes in at 2nd place. Super popular. And I find this interesting considering the game has Jin. And people tend to want to go, it seems to be more mainstream to go for the younger version of that character archetype. You know, it's his son, they are the same archetype. Mishima, dark hair, spiky. But people prefer Kazuya to Jin by quite a margin. And I find that very interesting. But Jin, no shame, comes in at place number 7. And here you can also make... explain to some people, you know, some people say, oh, Jin and Devil Jin, they should be the same character in Tekken 8. It should be like Kazuya's Rage Art where he transforms into Devil. You know, but Jin is Jin, but then when he has can go for Rage, he Rage Arts transforms into Devil Jin. That's never, ever going to happen. And that was the very first telltale sign, or the giveaway that, you know, those fake Tekken 8 leaks, that they were absolute bullshit. Because they said, Jin and Devil Jin are going to be the same character. Devil Jin is going to be a transformation for Jin. It's never going to happen. And it's because both of those characters are insanely popular. Jin is at number 7. Devil Jin is at number 9. Both of them are super popular. So it's no way we're going to bake them into the same character. I mean, I guess it's like Ryu and Evil Ryu in Street Fighter. They're both super popular. Or what's his name now? It's Kage. I don't like those boar, you know, that pig face. I don't think it suits Ryu. But so anyway, I don't know if there are any surprises here. Kunimitsu is very popular. And it seems she's gone from her on release, she was number 32. Gains 10 placements, like incredible increase in popularity, goes up to number 22. I think this is due to her, ever since her release, not very popular, but then how many tournaments has she been in? I think every single tournament is a showcase of Kuni. So I mean, what are we left with? Players playing Tekken right now, this late into the game's lifespan. There's a lot of tryhards. They watch tournaments. So I think her tournament presence makes her very popular. So that's not bad at all, you know, being at number 22. Maybe this means there's a good chance you'll see her in Tekken 8. And maybe not in the base roster, but maybe in early DLC. Marduk also surprises me at number 24. I wonder how... I'm guessing... I mean, I'm not taking credit for this, but I think I've dropped a lot of Marduk content lately, and I think it might have an effect in that some people might pick him up due to that. his ridiculous damage and Okiseme. Another interesting note on this is that Akuma is getting increasingly more unpopular. I remember his placement at 42 and he's now at 47. So all of you complain about Akuma. I mean, you never encounter Akuma. I know you never encounter him because I never encounter Akuma, like ever. And we have the data right here. It's like, yeah, I don't get it why people hate 2D so much when you never face that character. And then, you know, these Twitter clips like, oh, death combo Akuma. Tell me about that Akuma, that death combo. You are right, it's never ever happened. And to be honest, if I am to pick, do I want another Leroy, Lydia, or Fakum Ram, or do I want another Akuma? I'd take Akuma any fucking day over those other characters. Because Akuma is at least a creative character design that takes hard work and execution to make work. I'd much rather take an Akuma player. But, right, I mean, is there anything else we want to discuss here? I'm gonna do this so the chat doesn't cover it. But yeah, Panda, yeah, no surprise, no one plays Panda. Eliza and Ganryu are these characters where when I face them, I go, oh, you're in Tekken 7. I thought you were in Tekken 5 and that was it. Never ever encounter them. And that's a problem with this game because every character you don't get to encounter a lot, it becomes very problematic due to the characters being so complex. They have so many moves, right? And Ganryu and Eliza are very, very tricky matchup. More so than most characters. Very gimmicky. And you never get to practice the matchup. So again, it's no surprise Ganryu does the best in ranked. Has the best win-loss ratio out of any character. And I wonder how much this factor plays in, but no one plays him. It's a surprise to everyone, and then he just happens to be quite strong and has very gimmicky gameplay. And Master Raven, so unpopular. The sex change didn't work. Raven was also very unpopular. Lucky Chloe, 38. I wonder if she'll make it to Tekken 8. I really hope not. And I'm sorry, Lucky Chloe mains. I know she has a lot of fans out there, but I can't stand the character. And look at Eddie. She's more popular than Eddie, and he's such an iconic character, and he comes in at 42. It's so weird, like, so popular in Tag 2, well, due to being busted. But still, I'd think, I mean, when a lot of casuals think Tekken, or people who don't play Tekken, most of them know about Eddie Gordo. Oh, right, the breakdance, the capoeira guy, and no one plays him. No one plays him. Lee, 27. Fengwei is not doing poorly. Yeah, okay, so I think that's what I want to say regarding the characters. And it's nice to say Hachi at 12. The entire Mishima family does really well. So let's go to the next piece of data we have. So these are the chat tried to help me on this one. Cumulative average? Cumulative? I hope I pronounced that okay. Average of each division. So here we see the player distribution in terms of online rank. And as you can see, we got a lot of people. Okay, so this is post season 4. So this is the one we want to look at. It's the most accurate. Doesn't seem to include the light blue. Okay, I think there was a separate one for that, but whatever. But as you can see, early on in the lifespan of this game, that's probably like season 1 only. The absolute majority of the players would be in green and yellow. But then start season 2, it's much easier to rank up. And now, you know, the averages are instead like orange and red suddenly are the biggest ranks. That's where you find the most players. So an inflation in ranks for sure, like season 1 to season 2 and beyond. So yeah, I mean, if you're in orange and red, you've certainly done well. And then you can see, like, if you've made it to purple rank, you are in the elite. So that's ruler ranks. And then if you made it to blue, I mean, I tend to say that I like to break down the player base into beginner, intermediate, advanced, and then competitive play. So the way I tend to attribute these player levels to ranks is I tend to say that intermediate play basically starts at like early yellow or end of green. So intermediate is huge. It's basically yellow up to Yaksa. So intermediate is this huge chunk, right? And then here you have high level. And then competitive play, which is a tiny amount of players, is basically Tekken God Prime and Tekken God Omega. So it's this one here at the top. That's the these are the competitive players. And as you can see, yeah, if you reach blue ranks like Yaksa, you're probably around here. So you are in the elite. You really are in the minority. High level play is rare. You're a very, very strong player. And if you reach Tekken God, like, yeah, that's a small club. And then Tekken God Omega, reserved for very strong tournament players, basically. And this includes a lot of cheaters, by the way. In reality, this one should be like almost invisible. Should look something like that, like tiny, tiny little line. But so yes, definitely rank inflation since season 1. If this was more like season 1, you guys who are in orange and red would probably have found yourselves in yellow ranks. But yes, interesting to see. And then we have the top 5 characters in Suzaku up to Omega. So who are the characters we see most common in these ranks? And this is not surprising. You'll see the most popular characters, Paul and Kazuya, in these earlier ranks, like Suzaku up until blue ranks. But then it gets very difficult for these guys. And there's a drop-off, and you'll see Emperor to Tekken God Prime. It's more DLC-oriented, these easy mode, uber strong characters like Fakumram and Leroy. You see more of those. But once you go Tekken God Omega, it's Devil Jin, Kazuya, Steve, Hwoarang, Brian. So here you find tournament players, cheaters. Yeah, that's it. But Emperor, Tekken God Prime, it really is Leroy and Fakumram. And you have Brian, obviously, at 5th places here as well on Omega. True Tekken God, Brian is number 1. But again, a very, very popular character among, like, elite Tekken players and legacy Tekken players. Kazuya and Brian. But it's interesting to note the fall off here, and then so well represented in Omega. Wow, was there Lars even? A Tekken God. Lars is at 5th place. And then he completely disappears. No absence anywhere else. No, complete absence everywhere else. Okay, that's very interesting. I mean, every other character like Armor King, Devil Jin, Paul Kazuya, Leroy, you see them showing up quite a bit everywhere. Total saturation, you know. But Lars is apparently people get him to Tekken God and that's it. I don't know if that's a fuck up with the data. Yeah. I find this to be the most interesting. Like Paul and Kazuya, the most popular characters, and that's even reflected in the rank distribution up until Fujin. And that's when the second most popular character, Kazuya, gives way to Brian, who's the third most popular character. And then it's Paul and Kazuya again. And then it really starts flipping out. Like Brian Paul, Brian Kazuya, and here comes Fakum Ram at Emperor. And then Brian, and then we have Leroy. And then Tekken God Prime, that rank, second highest rank, it's all about Leroy and Fakum Ram. Very interesting. But I think that's what I wanted to say regarding this data. So yeah, if you've made it to like red ranks, it's like you have every reason to be proud over how you've done. Like, give yourself a pat on the shoulder. And if you've gone beyond that, wow, you're in the minority. And like, yeah, if you've made it to Yakuza, high-level player, in my opinion. That's my cutoff. Like, you're a high-level player. So hope you enjoyed my breakdown, and thanks again to all Bays for compiling this data for us every year, or 2 times per year. So thank you so much, dude. And I hope I didn't misrepresent your data. If I did, please again make one of those YouTube comments where you slander my name yet again. No, good shit, man. So thanks for listening to me.